Hey friends, it's Walker. Welcome back to all of Ave Nails. Today I'm just going to be swatching through half of my Black Friday order. I already posted my haul video so you can see what I bought, but I'm going to swatch them down here and make it even easier to see them. I am splitting this up into two videos because I got 21 polishes, and so I'm going to do 11 in this first video and then I'm going to do 10 in the other video. I have posted a video on how I make my swatch sticks if you're interested. I mean, I think there's a lot of videos out there with directions, but I'll link mine in the cards up above just in case. So I talked about in my haul video that I was doing a giveaway for the first week of December and the first week of Nailmas, and that giveaway closes on Saturday, December 8th, and all the details are in the description box down below, but this video is one of the ones that is eligible for the giveaway, so if you're interested, check out those details. I also talked about in my haul video that I bought a lot of the red and purple creams that I was missing from Zoya, and so these swatch videos are going to show all of those. One of my goals in 2019 is to, number one, have all of Zoya's creams, and number two, to swatch them all and have photos of them all, and then do color group comparisons of all of them. So I started doing some comparisons this year, and I kind of have a plan for how to do them a little bit more organized next year. So I wanted to pick up some purples and some reds so that I could do that. Okay, this is Harley, and it is so pretty and so soft. I am so happy with this one. I think I'm gonna love it in the winter. It's so pretty. So I'm planning to probably start with blue creams next year for my new kind of system for doing color comparisons. And I think I'll start with blue because I've already done some of the blues from Zoya, and so there's just a couple groups left that I need to do. And I love blue polish too. The ones that I have left to do are like dusty blues and navy blues, which are both really great winter colors. And then after that, I'm planning on doing some reds and some purples. So if you have a preference, if you like red more than purple or purple more than red, let me know. I would love to take your input on what you would like to see me do some comparisons of first. Okay, this is Miley, and Miley looks pretty jelly. So it's like really thin. It's not super opaque. It's kind of like Vicky, but it's a little bit of a softer gray. And on this first coat, I'm not getting a ton of that blue. In the bottle it looks kind of blue or kind of purple, so I'm curious to see how that builds up in a second coat. Arbor is one that I can't believe I didn't own. I don't know why I didn't own it. I have the rest of Zoya's greens and I just love them. I mean, I love green. Oh wow, it's so pretty. For some reason Arbor, I think I had it in my cart a couple times and never grabbed it, but it is so stunning. And I'm really glad to have it because it's the last of the greens that I needed. Another one of my goals for next year is to kind of find my favorite pink and red shades. They're shades that I don't pull for that often, and so I do want to do some experimenting and figure out, you know, what colors do I like on my skin tone, do I not pull for them just because I don't like pink and red, because I'm afraid of wearing them, who knows. If you have a favorite red or a favorite pink from Zoya, I would love to hear your recommendations for where to start. I think red and pink are really nice colors on other people, but they're just not ones that I reach for that often. I do like them when I wear them. Like I wore Rachel a lot this fall and Alyssa a lot this fall and was really happy, but pink especially is one that I very rarely reach for. Okay, Troy is one that I'm really excited about. It's such a pretty like charcoal gray metallic with tons of shimmer in it. I have most of the kind of silvery metallic polishes from Zoya, and I just love honestly every single one of them. I think I put Tau in my like go-to Zoyas, but it's really hard to pick one because they're so beautiful. And this one is super sparkly. Can you see those sparkles? Holy cow. This one's really pretty and practically opaque on that first coat. It's like a blue charcoal gray base. Really comes out. I can really see it against that kind of silvery glittery glitter. And then my last red for this batch is Dakota. This one also looks a little bit thinner in the bottle, but let's see how it is on the nail. Yep, it's a little bit thinner. That's the first coat of everything. I'm just gonna start back at the left and work my way back through. Yvonne is this really pretty kind of burnt like maroon polish almost. I think this one looks so pretty and is a color that I can totally see myself pulling for because I really like these kind of like red winey colors. All right, there's LC. These bright red, kind of pinky reds are definitely colors that I know I like. I really like wearing the like almost coral colored reds in the summertime. I think this summer I wore a lot of Sonja and Dixie and Virginia, so I think LC is gonna be one that I'm gonna love. And Harley, holy moly, this is so soft and so light. I don't have very many other metallic grays that are this light and soft. I have a lot that are more like Troy, like the deeper gray. Karen and LC look pretty close in the bottle. Like LC's a touch more pink and Karen's a touch more red, but they look pretty close in the bottle. And I would say on these swatch sticks here, you definitely can see on the nail, I think, more of the difference than I could in the bottle because they're both drawing a little bit deeper. And so LC's drawing with a little bit more of that pink and Karen's drawing with a little bit more of that red tone, but they're pretty close. So I don't know, if you have one, you may not need the other one. Janelle is definitely a much deeper red than any of the others so far than Karen or LC. It's much more of kind of like a middle of the road red. It's really pretty, and it totally got opaque on that second coat, no concerns. But so just to show you what I mean about how pink LC is, I'm gonna show you it compared to Janelle. You can really see how coral and pink that color is, right? And it just makes Janelle look like a perfect pure red. Miley definitely dried, and I can see a little bit more of the kind of purple undertone. It's still pretty jelly and sheer, but on the second coat I'm seeing a little bit more of that purple undertone. Not as much as I expected, but definitely a little bit. Here's Arbor. Arbor is basically opaque in that first coat, and I'm excited to see on the nails if that's the case as well. But it is so pretty. This one was in a summer collection, and I think this is a perfect summer green. It's so beautiful. It's not quite as bright as some of the other summer greens like Jace and Tilda. It's got a little bit more kind of yellow dirtiness in it. Okay, so here's Sherry. Sherry was pretty sheer on that first coat, and it's getting a little bit darker on this second coat. In my video where I talk about how to make the swatch sticks, I mentioned that I always put 2 coats on, even if I don't think it needs a second coat, or even if it maybe needs a third coat. I just leave it at 2 because it's easier for me to remember. And then when I go to apply my manicure, it's easier for me to say, oh, this looks like it needs 1 more, or, you know, it's easier for me to keep track of that way. So I only ever do 2 coats on my sticks. In that video, I also talk about how I always go on top of the stick, whereas I think you can paint, you know, underneath and you don't need top coat. But I like to see how it looks with top coat because it really shows me, you know, if the polish has any shimmer or glitter. It shows exactly how that kind of pulls together with top coat. And so I always paint on top and then do a layer of just like a cheap top coat that I buy at CVS. Okay, so Troy is stunning. Oh my goodness, that base is so blue. This one is also getting opaque in the second coat, so it looked pretty sheer on that first coat, but it's getting opaque in a second coat. And it's much deeper than some of the others with the exception of Yvonne. Yvonne's got a bit more kind of purple pink tone to it, but they're both kind of similarly deep. So the cheap top coat that I'm going to use today is this Wet n Wild Shine Clear Nail Protector. I got this at CVS for about $1.99 and it's super watery, so I have to be really careful not to totally flood my swatch sticks, but it's pretty good. It dries relatively fast and keeps them protected. So I think from this part of my haul, my favorites are Yvonne. This color is so pretty and I know that I am going to absolutely love it. And LC is probably up there. I just love these reds that have this pink in them. They're so pretty. And I don't think that from the swatches online I saw how much pink was in this polish, but it's really, really beautiful. And then Arbor is kind of a gimme. I knew I was gonna love that one, so I'm not gonna include that. I think the one that surprised me the most is Troy. I didn't expect to like Troy as much as I did, but it is so pretty. It's like super blue and that glitter is so shiny and sparkly. It's gorgeous. So Yvonne, LC, and Troy are probably my favorites, with Troy being the kind of standout surprising one. And I think the only one that I'm kind of disappointed in, or just maybe I didn't do enough research about, is Miley. This one just looks super sheer and not really what I expected. I think I was expecting kind of like just a sheerer or lighter version of like Abby or Megan, but this is pretty light. I probably just didn't do my research and didn't realize that it wasn't as opaque as I thought. If you have Miley and you've worn it, I'd love to hear kind of what you think about it as a full manicure. Sometimes, you know, the swatch stick isn't really a fair representation of what a polish would actually look like on your hands. So if you love it, let me know. Right. So usually what I'll do after I do a whole set like this is I'll just set them out to dry somewhere kind of overnight, and then I add them to my swatch sticks in order of kind of where they fit on Zoya's website, and I have all that information in my spreadsheet where I track all my Zoyas, you know, put Troy next to Edita, etc. So this is the last one. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to comment on this video if you want to be entered into my giveaway. All of the directions for that are in the description box below. I hope you'll enter, and as always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time. Bye!